So it took me a long time to $3.11.
Here comes the bastard now. Good. See what sort of story we'll get. Shouldn't be allowed. Bloody perverts running loose like this. Thanks.
It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. We never used to have this sort of thing around here.
That's right. It's the migrants. They should be kept out of the country. It's always them that's doing the killing and raping.
Look, there he comes.
Let's leave it now.
Yeah.
Come on. We don't need the nice to get around here.
At 33 minutes. See that? 33:02. So, just watching the Corbett report. The police are storming this house. 33:02, eh? Just saying.
We're not just looking at destroying a country anymore. We're facing the threat of human extinction.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But what about them nuclear power plants?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's a different argument. No, I don't reckon it is. Those women in America don't think so either.
Yeah.
They reckon if one of them nuclear power plants went on the blink, nuclear activity everywhere.
Yeah, and radioactivity comes over to Australia.
I'm so bloody confused listening to all of you. I don't know what to think. I'll leave you to it.
So this symbol means it's new. It's called a pendulum, and it's a hypnotist's tool that unlocks the subconscious mind. That's my game.
Okay, so how are a bunch of nuns and hippies in Australia going to stop the Yanks and Russians blowing each other up when they feel like it?
Yeah, I reckon there's already enough bombs to blow up the world 40 times over.
Yeah, might as well grab the good times while you can, I say.
God, listen to the pessimists.
I'm not, I'm just a realist, okay?
Unfortunately, a lot of young people share the same views.
Yeah, so why bother?
Because if we all copped out, there'd be no one to tell the politicians that we don't want wars. What we do want is the future God meant for us. One that young people like yourself can have faith in.
Here and here. You reckon God would just step in and do something about it then, don't you?
He gave us the choice between living on this planet or destroying it, Marlene. That makes it our responsibility.
There's a hard topic I need to broach. It's not going to be easy. But I want to share some more coincidences with you. And it keeps coming back to this program, Prisoner Cell Block H. I was talking to my lady this morning about a couple of things. My feelings on, shall we say, experts. After listening to Jeren and is it for Earth Math, it just reinforces my opinion that being an expert in something it's not something I think people should be proud of. But by being an expert in one area, your bandwidth of knowledge is narrowed, so narrowed that they are trapped within a box.
Not that I don't believe you, but if
There is
All the documents have been closely vetted, I can assure
an old character you saw on my previous video.
He's been for over 40 years.
Been in prison for 40 years. This lady's going to try and get her freed and get compensation.
So long before you give up. If Etty had walked in here and told you that she'd been waiting over 40 years for her trial, would you have believed her?
No, I don't think I would have.
Exactly. What makes this case even more horrific is my belief that the crime was so minor that she never would have been convicted.
I take it you're handling the case.
Yes.
I wish you luck. What action do you intend to take?
Oh, immediate release.
And
$500,000 compensation.
is that realistic?
So, final statement.
Yes, I believe so. What value would you place on 40 wasted years of your life?
To my mind, 40 years wasted life in prison is the same as 40 years studying one subject. You cannot study a tree forever and think you know the world. And in the same way, you cannot study the stars forever and think you know how the world works. You cannot study politics for 40 years and think you know how the world works. You must branch out, reach out, look into other things.
She must have been upset when you told her that.
No, in fact, I got the funny
So I think he's
Yeah, and she would too. Oh, come off it, happen.
preventing people from reaching out.
Hey, who's got the best taste buds?
That's me, dear. What do you want?
I want to know who's got the best mixture. Ray reckons mine's no good.
Is that yours?
Why?
It's too dry. Looks like Ray knows what he's talking about.
Problem with this place is there's too many bloody experts.
Forget the experts. Is this going to be ready by tonight?
Yeah, no.
Too many bloody experts. Experts should be used just for backing up, for support, for helping to square the foundations. They turned everybody into experts, in my mind, to stop people realising that there were no jobs anymore. And so they had to create jobs. So they created a load of experts. But I was watching TJ, the Amazing Atheist, I think yesterday released a video, or a couple of days ago, the obsolescence of humanity, of mankind. And it's something I've been thinking about for a long time, and it is this inevitable rise of the machines, the Terminators, the ones that are not coming for your life, but for your jobs. They will fill the shelves, they will mend your wounds. The machines will do it all. And I hear people crying, bring on Wall-E. People want those fucking little floaty chairs and robots to bring them milkshakes and superpower drinks while they watch TV and play games all day. Some people want that. For myself, the only thing left, I don't think we can stop the rise of the machines. The only thing left is this. It's that entertainment. The personal use of imagination that has not been allowed for such a long time, because we've all had to struggle and strive to survive, to build the world, to create experts to needle out the correct answers. But just because you're the expert in your area doesn't mean you know it all. What you know may not correspond with what other people know in their areas, and therefore you must correct your expertise to fit the better picture. Too many chiefs and all that, too many chefs. People must put aside their pride. I'm afraid to say people like flat earth math. And some people need to shut up. If you haven't looked at enough subjects, shut up. I hear people talking and they go, "Oh, I've never heard of that." Well, if you haven't heard of these things before, go and look before you open your mouth. There is that little saying in the Bible, I'm sure, that says, you know, beware of speaking ill of those who know better, or words to those effect. And in some ways it can be read as quite a warning. But it should be a warning. To be careful of not speaking out about things which you have no knowledge of. And to be aware of speaking out before you've even tried to find out some things. People are coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, I know it all, mate. I know it all." What? I've never heard of that before. Maybe if you haven't heard of something, you should sit back and look and listen a bit more. There are many who like to jump the gun, who can't help but jump the gun. False starts and all that. Maybe this is just a false start. Let's take a step back and reflect. Things said, things done. Right, so we have here the Black Child. Yeah, it does do some very cool videos, but it's so heavily celebrity focused. I'm not really interested. So anyway, this was Azalea Banks. It just popped up in the feed. I had a quick look. I think in some ways someone's trying to give Hollywood the bad name. No, you know, like how we all blame government instead of the people that were in government. People are now going to blame Hollywood instead of the people in Hollywood. But anyway, so yeah, I was thinking to myself, I know the name is Azalea Banks. I'll just image it, Google image, see what I come up with. Sometimes the quickest way is just to find some quick information, and I'll tell you, I came across a doozy. How's about that? So this young lady's being accused of blood sacrifice and all sorts of other things in a little slaughter room. And I find this nice little image of her. Is that a deer? I hope it's a deer, not a dog. But yeah, she looks like she's enjoying that. And if you look on the room behind her, this deep black staining. That's a slaughter room, isn't it? That's what happens to blood after it's dried out and built up upon it. It's black. I don't know. Just saying. Azalea Banks and whatever she's doing in her witchy room, the blue eye, whatever she's talking about. Yeah, just a quick one. Azalea Banks. Very bizarre. Oh yeah, just this one as well. Oh, there we go. That's the one you'll all like. Peace and luck. Right, Dale, I'm listening to your little video and I'm really enjoying it. I really do enjoy these little personal videos that people make. The one Pegleg did talking to his wife and his sister was absolutely amazing for me. But you're wrong, Dale. You keep saying this about what people's content is.
So am I to assume then that you think it's okay for Michael Jackson's music to stay on the market even though he is a paedophile? Let's say, for instance, that Cliff Richard is a paedophile. Is it okay for his music to still be sold? It's not about the content, mate. It's about the people. The content is what got us into this mess. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, the content can go down a fucking bin if it comes from someone like that. It will be found again, and it will be found by someone better. I am not taking the contents from people who I do not like, who I do not respect or appreciate. I respect and appreciate what you have to say, Del. Because I think you're a genuine person. It doesn't matter to me that I think you're wrong. I think you're a genuine person. I think your content's boring as arseholes, mate. But I still watch it because of you. There are some people out there putting what looks and appears to be amazing content, but is in fact horse shit. But it is presented so well that other people can't see past the well-presentedness. When you walk into the dance studio and you look at people's feet, brilliant. But let's say the best dancer in the hall turns out to be a paedophile. Is he allowed to stay there? You're wrong, Del. It's not about content, mate. It's about people. Alright, content was for last century, 20th century Fox content. Their content was amazing, and yet it was made by fucking perverts, pedos, and dirty old men. And I hope I never have to watch any one of them fucking films ever again. I hope I have to never listen to pieces of music by paedophiles ever again. I don't care how fucking good it is. No offence, I'm not that pissed off. I was really enjoying it. I'm going to go back to enjoying it now. Sorry if I upset you.
Here we are. You take a look at some of the shots there. The great ones. They're all about your age too. The money they make, $20 just for posing for a few photographs. It's unreal. Hey, what's this?
I gotta go.
Why? You're not worried about the photos, are you? That's art. You don't worry about clothes when you take shots like that.
Get lost!
So one of the recent stories is 6 young girls have gone missing and have been killed. This young chap is a character in the programme. He's run away from home and he's bumped into this man who's rescued him from some louts. He's taken him back to his house and he's shown him an album which I assume has pictures of naked children in it. Just a few weeks ago, a few episodes ago, one of the main characters was brutally raped by 2 men. While at the same time the storyline with this young man began where he was being physically abused at home by his father and husband. I know in some ways it's like me looking for mushrooms and I am seeing what I want to see. But there's more to it than that. It's the restriction of ideas thing that I keep talking about. I've been told more than once in my life, many times more than once, in private by people that they have suffered abuse. excuse me, at some point in their life. Whether it be childhood rape to adult rape, from abusive alcoholic parents to neglectful parents. I think the problem is a lot more common than anybody gives it credit. This abuse. I've been told by more ladies than I care to have ever wanted to be told by that they have been raped. I've been told by both men and women about being abused as children. And I know personally more than one person who has suffered at the hands of alcohol and drug dependent parents. Whether it be just the neglect of sleeping parents and having to fend for oneself, to sheer outright theft and battery and rape. I have a scary feeling that it's something that's always been there, but once upon a time it was harder to conceal. When everyone in the village knew each other, you couldn't hide those things. When there were no buses driving past at night, no trains and planes and TVs blaring, people heard what was going on in other people's houses. When I first heard about the sexualisation of children in the media, I scoffed at it. What are you talking about, you fucking old fuddy-duddy? Well, I was about 15 then, and it meant nothing to me. I enjoyed the violent films, the sex and the nudity. I enjoyed the thrill of going out with my friends when I shouldn't have done, to drink and smoke and whatever. Excuse me. Okay, so where was I? I was reasonably young when I recognised something was wrong with what was on the TV. But it wasn't something that stayed in there for many reasons. But someone said to me once, where does it end? The violence that used to be on TV was could be, what's the word? It was implied. You didn't always see the direct violence, yeah? Things like the shadows behind the curtains. And then films like Die Hard started being made, and the violence became a lot more in your face. And someone said to me, you know, where does it end? Where does the violence stop? And it has become that on a lot of the films. The violence is horrendous. Horrendous. It's so over the top violence. It's This is the flip side of the abuse I want to talk about. Is the strength of it, and people's misconceptions that all forms of abuse must be some sort of a violent personal interruption. I'm no expert in this area. But as I said, I've had a lot of people approach me with tales of abuse. And there's not many of them I don't believe. Okay, excuse that one more time. Before I get interrupted again, it's hard enough to make videos as it is. Trying to talk about such a intense and sensitive subject while being interrupted in the nicest possible way doesn't make it any easier. But there is something else I have to just say for that part is I myself, although I'm struggling now with words, it's because I have no one to bounce off. I have no fear of talking about abuse and stuff, though many people shy away from it, and I can understand why. But I honestly feel that there are many people out there that feel the need to talk about it, and yet they have no one to talk to about it. And I understand that. I understand being in that place where you have no one to talk to. And so I have full sympathy, full empathy for others who wish to do that as well. And I know that there are some people who claim they do not wish to speak of such things, and yet it still comes out. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger the sexualization of children in the media has gone a long way and has a big part towards not only keeping people childish and children alike, both physically and mentally, it's kind of taught people to forget, like children do, to brush it aside and not consider it anymore. This is natural when you're a child, it's not natural as an adult, and I hate to see it in so many. Someone has wanted to keep us all in a youthful mindset for a long time. Youthful, covetous mindset. Possessive mindset. An almost secretive mindset. No one wants to share or is willing to share. And not willing to share things that were once just naturally part of the village mindset. You understand? Now, again, there's always the flip side to these coins where, yeah, there was probably villages where the mindset was a bit backwards, shall we say, to everybody else's. But that's where communication comes in, isn't it? Learning to communicate in certain ways and doing it without offending, upsetting, doing it with intent to upset. Not to be a mindless child and just open one's mouth and react. I think in many ways the abuse of children as much as I hate to admit it in ourselves, it's almost natural. I hate that word in some ways, to go with it. But I think it comes in waves. It comes and it goes, and it's part of the struggle of being a man to resist that. In the animal kingdom, they have no control over when they get horny. We're not animals anymore, are we? And we must learn to live outside of that natural urge. Oh, the interruptions have made me lose my trail. I do apologise. I will try and come back to this.